This episode of Teen Titans Go taught us that you're never too old to enjoy a good scare. Let's get into it. So, the episode starts with kind of a monologue from Raven. She says, "It's time. Today's the day, the darkest of days." And you can tell that she's like putting on this cloak of darkness and she's like gearing up for something pretty intense. And then finally we get to see what she is as she pops into the living room where the rest of the Titans are hanging out. And she's a very pretty Pegasus. This is her Halloween costume. That's what she's been gearing up for. But the other Titans, they're not having it. They're so bored they don't even look up at her. They show exactly zero interest, but she starts poofing in decorations. We get spider webs, hanging little spiders, a creepy butler and everything. She starts like dangling ghosts in front of them just to get them into the Halloween spirit a little bit. Robin talks about how jack-o'-lanterns are just a waste of good produce. Cyborg talks about how if you want candy, you can just go buy some at the store.
If we want candy, we'll go buy some.
He's not wrong. You know, he's whatever, he's not wrong. Even Beast Boy's like, "Yo, mama, we wear costumes all the time."
Costumes.
We wear costumes every day, Mama.
Hope you like my terrible Beast Boy impression. Robin reminds Raven of what happened last Halloween and why this is no longer their favorite holiday anymore. They ate way too much candy. Oh, and they're dressed as the Thundercats, dude. It's genius level. Too much candy, allegedly with a wrapper still on. And they all threw up the Thundercats logo in the sky. Very intense. Everybody on the team is telling Raven how now that they're older,
It just isn't scary anymore.
but Raven reminds them of her half-demon heritage and how she still loves the holiday and she loves a good scare. But again, they just could not care less, dude, so she retires to her room. In her bedroom, she concocts this spell, I guess, that forms a jack-o'-lantern. She uses things like a mummy's hand, some candy corn. By the way, are you one of the people that love candy corn or hate candy corn? Let me know in the comments below. I personally love it. I would eat it year-round, and I probably should, come to think about it. Why not? Yeah, she makes this jack-o'-lantern, and she, like, brings the jack-o'-lantern to life, and the voice is crazy. The voice just sounds like Kari Payton, which is Cyborg, doing the most Louisiana, like, down-home voodoo voice you've ever heard. And what Raven tells the jack-o'-lantern to do is to make the Titans scared again. But what he does, this is one of those be careful what you wish for kind of stories so far, is he doesn't really make them scared again. He just makes them young again so that they feel scared when they see scary things. Don't forget, it's Halloween night tonight. So at the door they hear trick-or-treaters, but of course since they're so little, that scares them when the doorbell rings. Robin puts the entire building into lockdown mode. We get the steel grates that come down over every window and every side of the building. Weapons come out from behind the building and point right at these poor trick-or-treaters. Imagine that, man. Imagine walking up to this weird T-shaped building and ringing the doorbell hoping for some candy, and then you get like nuclear weapons just drawn on you. That's scary. And by the way, if you're a fan of spooky season and like scary TV shows, or particularly the Halloween themed episodes of sitcoms and stuff like that, then click subscribe, because around here it's Halloween all the time. Now come to find out, this jack-o'-lantern hex demon thing that Raven created is actually the Halloween spirit, which is kind of a cool tie-in, because during Christmas movies and Christmas episodes, we get to hear all about the Christmas spirit and what it takes to keep Santa trucking along at the end of the year, and toys and gifts, and you gotta believe so that other kids, you get it, I'm going on. But it's cool to see, you know, something very similar to that be applied to the spooky time. You get a Halloween spirit that thrives on fear, and everything that goes along with it. Well, this Halloween spirit has become pretty dang strong, and now he's left the tower. He's gonna go do spook to other things. We gotta go see what he's up to. Raven reads the rest of the Titans the lore about the Halloween spirit, and this is where we get to learn that they have to banish him before the full moon sets on All Hallows Eve night. I don't know if that's the 30th or the 31st. I think it's the 31st. I don't know. But the stakes are, if they don't banish him by the end of the night, they have to remain as children forever. So they come up with a game plan to banish this thing, and then of course cue training montage, right? Here we go with, oh, by the way, the most Cartoon Network version of Thriller you've ever heard. Listen to this. So, the Titans set on their path to go grab as much candy and pumpkins and other stuff as they need in order to banish this Halloween spirit before midnight tonight. Otherwise, don't forget, they have to stay as children forever. Except Raven, she's not a kid because she's the one that created the thing, and Anyways, you know that by now. So the kids end up at the end of the neighborhood streets, and above them in the sky is the Halloween spirit. And it's game time now, dude. This is what they've been montaging for. This is what they've been game planning for. It's time to take this dude out. But it's not just the Halloween spirit. He starts blasting all of the decorations on everybody's lawns and porches and stuff. So everybody's witches, you know, that were just props, and the skeletons that were hanging from the trees, and the Frankenstein monster that was sat on the chair of the porch or whatever, they're all alive now, and they're now all a part of the Halloween spirit's posse. As every good bad guy needs a crew. So now imagine two opposing, I'm just gonna call them gangs. Think West Side Story, think Warriors. They're now in the middle of the street with the bad guys and the good guys, and it's go time. We find out that all the bad guys are immune to the Titans' powers. Raven's little black holes, they don't step in them and fall into them like most other things do. All of the weapons have also kind of been kidified. I don't know, dude. Like, so normally when you would blast like a laser, now it's just like a tennis ball that comes out of your blaster or whatever. No effect on these bad guys whatsoever. So now the game plan is different now. We switch up on a dime, and Raven calls the audible. She says, "Run!" And let me just say, I love how many in-jokes and references that this show has in just about every single episode, Halloween themed or not, dude. Like, for example, the costumes that that the Titans are wearing in this episode. Robin is dressed up as a different Robin from like a previous era Robin. Cyborg is dressed up as Hawkman. Beast Boy is Martian Manhunter. Starfire is a ghost, I think. I don't know if that's a direct reference to something in the DC universe like these other things are, but she's got the sheet over her head with the eyes cut out. Anyways, so now the Titans are just on the run, defenseless, offenseless against these bad baddies, right? The Titans end up being cornered. They got their backs against the wall, and the bad guys are coming after them pretty dang quick. They don't know what to do. In this moment, this is when Raven decides to confess to everybody on the team that she conjured the Halloween spirit, that all this is happening because it's her fault. And she apologizes. She says that this was just, they used to be the one day of the year that all of them was looking forward to, and that they had the most fun on. But the cool part is now that the Titans have been scared out of their minds for most of the night, they say, hey, you know what? Being scared actually is fun. This is a great Halloween. We didn't know what to expect tonight. But thank you. They're like appreciative that she brought on this evil spirit and kind of revitalized their love of being scared. Boom. Speaking of revitalize, everybody pops in a bunch of candy in their mouth. They power up, and now they're ready to take on these bad guys for real. And that's particularly funny to me because if you have kids, no matter how bad of a mood they're in, or if they just got like it hurt seriously, if you just give them like 9 fruit snacks, they're good to go, man. They'll jump back up and they'll just continue on hustling. It's wild to see, and they did that in the show, and I don't know if it was a direct reference or not, but I got it. I get it. Teen Titans Go. I see that. Hey, you want to know what kills this Halloween spirit? Jack-o'-lanterns. Its own little versions of its own self is what kills this Halloween spirit and is what banishes it. So after they power up with a handful of candy each of them, now they have the energy to light their jack-o'-lantern, shine it at this thing, and banished. That's what it takes to take down the Halloween spirit and save everybody from remaining a child forever and ever. They do that. Halloween spirit flies away, mists away. I don't know. I forget what he did, but it was pretty, the music was pretty dramatic, so I was listening to that more than I was like watching how he was disappearing. And now the kids are cheering. They did it. They saved the night. They saved themselves. They're celebrating. So since the Halloween spirit is banished, the kids all regrow back up to their normal selves. All of their costumes grow with them, except for Robin's. He's wearing this tiny little like cut off R shirt with the tiniest little shorts you've ever seen. Again, it's so funny, dude. The jokes on the show are just, it's like they're made for me, man. I love it. They win. They save the day. But Raven goes, oh, but one more thing. And then she does like the flashlight under the face thing, and she's like, boo. It sends the entire team running Scooby-Doo style across the entire street just until the sun comes up, I guess, is what it alludes to. This episode originally aired on October 30th, 2014. It was season 2, episode 19 of Teen Titans Go. So if you want to watch that on Max, I think is what I watched it on, you can as well. Like the video if you liked the video, and happy Halloween. Boo.